Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, for your Ford news update and information, including your Maverick information on a Monday. And we have a really good Maverick Monday episode. I think it'll be fun. I think some of you will enjoy it. We are going to dig into that center stack screen for your Maverick. So we're going to talk about some of the settings, where they're located, some other little tidbits that maybe you just didn't realize, like where the owner's manual is, because it's digital now, and some other things in a way of going in, connecting your Android Auto, how to use Android Auto, that kind of thing. I didn't do Apple CarPlay because I don't have an iPhone. So hopefully it's similar to Android Auto for those of you out there, but it's real easy to connect up. But we're going to have some fun. We're going to go outside and do that in a little bit. But first, just like every week, I want to go ahead and update you on any scheduling information for the Ford Maverick for this week, as well as any other Maverick news information as well. So make sure you're subscribed with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of the Maverick information on these Monday video series. All right, first let's get into scheduling for this week. Now, again, this is scheduling information this week. I actually have information for next month, which will start next week. Will be new allocations, and we'll talk about that and get into that. But first, let's talk about this week. Now, again, don't forget, they are scheduling for the Maverick this week for those build dates in March. But again, the biggest thing is your dealership still has to have an allocation available. Most dealerships, and what Ford likes to do is schedule out, like the Maverick is one of those lineups. They want to schedule out the entire month as early as they can, schedule out what they can, fill into open slots that they can, right? So a dealer would need an allocation. Like for us, we used 4 of our 6 allocations the very first week. It was open at the early January for those March build dates. We had a couple left because they scheduled all of our retails first, which was 4, and we had 2 allocations left. And so then this last week, we got the last 2 scheduled, or was that 2 weeks ago? And it was with stock orders because we didn't have any retail orders. So Ford wants to fulfill retails first for that. And so they'll go ahead and do that. And then any dealerships that have allocations and need to fulfill those allocations, they'll do so. Remember, allocations aren't based on orders submitted. They are based completely on your sales volume. And you might say, why did you only get 6, Tim, if you're one of the top dealers? Because we turned down 20 of them. We have 82 24s that as soon as recall gets done, we're going to have those. And we don't need any extras sitting on our lot right now. And so that's why we turned down some allocations. So dealers can do that. So we made sure we had enough for any retail orders we had. So that would cover us. So because of that, this is what they call cleanup scheduling. So again, a dealer needs an allocation, and then you can get scheduled. So most of you, I would think, with the retail orders been scheduled. There aren't too many unscheduled retail orders in the order bank right now. And it might be from smaller dealers where they don't get as many allocations. That is a very big possibility. Look in the commodity report and see how many are unscheduled, but it should be a small number, right? For most dealerships. So on the Maverick, the Maverick has currently only 2,180 unscheduled retail orders. So it's probably the smaller dealerships that don't get a lot of allocations each month. And if you have more orders and allocations, it's going to take more than 1 or 2 months to get it scheduled. And that might be why you're still unscheduled. So, or it could be if you ordered, this month after most of the allocations were used, like for us, let's say you went ahead and ordered right after we fulfilled all of our allocations that we had. We have to wait until the next month fulfills up new allocations before we can schedule that order, if that makes some sense. Now to kind of go through some of the very limited exhaust availability. Now, again, this is information only for this week, because I like to preface that because some people start thinking there's a constraint on some of this stuff, and there isn't overall. It's just there is right now because they've scheduled out most of everything. So they have a very limited number of orders they can do for some of these things that say very limited exhaust availability. So again, please note that this is information just for this week. When we start talking next week, when they open it up and we have new set of allocations and they haven't scheduled for April, none of these constraints will be on there for that week, right? Until they schedule it. And then they'll say, okay, now that we've scheduled most of this month, here's what we are now is very limited exhausted because we've already scheduled out most of it. Hopefully that I made that clear. So, all right. So very limited exhaust availability for the XL trim, the trimmer version, the Lobo version, all-wheel drive, the advanced all-wheel drive, the 6-way power driver seat, the standard XLT wheel, the black painted aluminum wheel, which is included in the black appearance package and is also optional on the Lobo, and the all-season tire that's standard on XL and XLT. And again, these are exhausted to, very, very limited to exhausted because most of that's already in scheduled for most of the month, right? And most dealerships have used all their allocations for the month. So this is very for those last dealerships that need to, maybe they have an allocation they didn't use for some reason. They didn't have an order in there that was viable last week. So this is kind of information for them to go, hey, if you want to use those last allocations, you're going to need to, put in something that's not a constraint, not a capacity or availability issue. So hopefully that makes some sense to everybody. Now, because next week is the start of next month's allocations, and I know that you were thinking it's February, Tim. They always go over a month, right? And so next week will be the start of April production allocation numbers. So we'll receive a new batch of allocations. We haven't received our numbers yet. I think we're going to see them today for April production, but they are going to be scheduled in the Maverick plant for 5 weeks of production in April. And when they say April, it's going to be the weeks of March 31st through the weeks of April 28th. That's why it's a 5-week there. For this month, a little bit different than it has been in previous months where 55% of the production was hybrid. This month for April production will be 51% hybrid. So almost a 50-50 mix between hybrid and EcoBoost. So keep that in mind there. And some other little, I thought, I found this report and I thought it'd be really good information to kind of show you the breakdown of this. So of the hybrid motor, option 993, 50.3% is the max availability for production for those build weeks in April. For the 2.0 EcoBoost engine, that would make it 49%. So, right, should say 49.7, but it doesn't. So there's that breakdown. Now, another breakdown for some of the configurations. Super Crew XL is 27% of the production. XLT, it says in here, no matter if it's front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, 52% of production is XLT. And then the Lariat is 15% of the production right there. Now, for the breakdown between front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and then advanced all-wheel drive system, 35% of the production will be front-wheel drive, with 56% being all-wheel drive system. And then the advanced all-wheel drive that you see on the Tremor and the Lobo is 9% of the production. So you can see that Tremor and Lobo accounts for about only 9% of your production because of that. So there you go. So that's the breakdown of that and the scheduling and all that right stuff. So I don't have any news on the recall for the backup camera on the 22 to 24 model year. I have heard that it may be very soon. So I'm really hoping next week to give you guys some good news on that. So I'm really hoping they said it should be any time now in February here. So we're really looking forward to seeing that because we're going to have a major 2024 F-150 sale going on coming up here. Once those recall gets done and we can complete the recalls, we're going to have a big sale down. So be looking for that for our channel, but we'll just see how things are going there. But for other than that, we don't have any other information. No recall information yet on the battery. I didn't see any kind of update to that, like the full bulletin, because we did see just an advanced dealer notice about the battery. So again, they're waiting for parts availability to be ready, and then you'll see a full bulletin on that, and that people can go in and start having that done. So that is not yet. So I'm going to answer those two recall information there too as well. And I think other than that, I think we're ready to move forward, head outside, and let's take a look at the Ford Maverick center stack screen and some information on that. All right, we're out here on our lot. It's a little cold today. It's supposed to be up to 70 today or something, but looking forward to the trip to Florida. If you guys are going along, going to be down in Florida and Orlando area. We're going to be there, Sarah and I, at Ford's Garage in Hamlin and beautiful Orlando this weekend. It's supposed to be in the 80s. Looking forward to that at I think 12:30 is when we're meeting there. But anyway, let me turn this around. Here we go. We're on our Maverick row over here. We do have almost a complete row of Mavericks available right here. Mostly these XLs. We did, we get what we can on some of these. And you can say, Tim, how are you getting stock units? These XL hybrid or XL EcoBoost all-wheel drives here were actually ordered for our rental department here at Law McArthur, and they're not taking them right now because we think the recall is going to be really close, and they're probably going to take some of the 24s that actually would be cheaper for them as an investment in the rental department than these 25s. And so that's what they're going to do, is probably take our hands off some of those 24s once that recall lifts. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we don't know exactly when, but we think it's soon. But a lot of these XL EcoBoosts were that way. Now, this XLT Black Appearance Package white here, this is actually a customer that didn't take theirs for some reason. And then the one I'm going to use in today's video also is one that was turned down. It's a Lariat Velocity Blue Black Appearance Package that was used, that was turned down as well. Now, I am showing you the video on this. We're going to get inside. We're going to cover the screen on these. But let you know, just because it's a Lariat doesn't mean that screen's going to have anything more than what these XLs have. All of them have the same center stack screen and everything that the Lariat will have. The difference is a hybrid might have some other features in it. Lariat will have a 360 camera, so that'll be a little bit different. But otherwise, about everything else about that screen will be similar and the same in some of the things available. This does have adaptive cruise standard equipment, so you won't have some of those controls and the options for adaptive cruise that this screen will have. But for those that are an XL, XLT, you may not have those. But for the most part, the screen will be the same. And so we're going to get in, connect my phone up. We're going to do Android Auto. We're going to talk about some other things as part of the center stack screen. So let's get in. Okay, we are inside this Maverick in the nice warmth. That wind is cold out there. And we're going to cover the screen. So I'm going to see, hopefully you guys can see the screen real well. We're going to cover this screen. And then maybe here in a little bit, we'll cover the productivity screen because there was something that someone had questions on. And so we might get into that. But yeah, so, okay, we're going to get into the screen here. So the center stack screen, 13.2 inch screen is new for the Maverick for this year. And a lot of things that you're going to see on this, so these buttons, you probably can't see them on your screen there, basically are just a couple different presettings for you. Camera, if you have a Lariat or Tremor, right, or Lobo 702A, you'll have that camera button for the 360 camera, and some other things. Your auto hold is right there as well. This is a hybrid. Does not have auto start stop, so occasionally it might kick on and turn on like it just did a little bit ago. But a lot of the stuff that are going to be always on down here. No matter where you're at, going on up here at the top, these are going to be the same. So this one does have heated seats, which I am enjoying just a little bit. And you can bring that down. You can slide it down if you want. You can just tap it too, just like a button, just a physical button, which is sometimes what I'll do in my car. And then so you have that, and then you do have your temperature gauge right here, and I'm going to show you a way in a second to be able to do that without even touching it. So a lot of people are like really upset they don't have the physical buttons, and so you can actually use your voice to do it all, so which is really awesome. So I'm going to show you some of that in here as well. So on this home screen, which is what we have here, you can see the maps here. Not everybody probably will get the navigation. I can't remember where the navigation comes into play. This one does have the nav. You may not have that, but you should have something similar to this look. Phone, audio right here, and then you're going to see settings, features, and apps over there, which we're going to kind of dive into. Well, what do you go to get what feature, what settings and everything, right? Because that can be really confusing. So this climate control, I'm not going to really focus on this bottom banner because it's really pretty much self-explanatory if you know the icons. If you have heated steering wheel, that's the steering wheel with those buttons are for your heat. So that's what that's going to look like. That's your fan button. Press on that again. You can raise it and lower it to there where you want it. Just hit that again and it'll collapse down. Actually, no, it didn't. Oh, hit the arrow button. Sorry. Hit the arrow button. It'll collapse down. Auto as well if you want auto climate control. So this is a dual zone climate. So driver controls it over here, passenger controls it over there. Their heated seat is as well over there. If you want to add the AC, you want heated mirrors, you turn it on there. Max defrost there, and then this is where you can pull up where you want it. Do I want the air flowing? Where do you want it flowing? Do you want dual zone climate, dot? As soon as somebody over there though changes that temperature, it automatically kicks it into dual zone climate. So if you want it to be the same, right, then go like that, and it can kick, if they're all the same, it'll kick it out. But anyway, I won't go into any more of that. But let's talk about this screen here. Now, I like to cover the settings. So settings up there, and you can see this is where you can connect your phone. And we'll do that in just a little bit. I will connect my phone in to use the Android Auto, and I want to demonstrate that. And I'll show you just how easy that is. But so you'll have the phone there for that, being able to connect your phone up and all that. Right now, there's no phones in there.
Search for your vehicle on your device.
There's no phones in there right now. And then we do have the sync navigation is in here. Again, I don't know where everybody gets navigation. I can't remember. I've covered so much of these different vehicles. Vehicle. So that is where I like to say if there's some controls on the vehicle you want to change, that's where you go to find that. So we're in settings and you go to vehicle. I want to control something within the vehicle. So the rear occupant alert. Some of you are like, I don't have kids. I don't want that. Well, here's where you turn that off. You can turn that off. If you don't know what that means, is when I shut the vehicle off, it's alerting you saying, check the back seat for any kids. If you have kids, please leave that on. I suggest you do that. It's just a nice security measure there. A remote start. This is where in the winter and summer you want to go in to remote start it. Now, whether you can say, well, Tim, I don't have heated seats. I don't have, whatever. If you want to remote start the vehicle and you want the climate to be correct, this is where you would control that. So first of all, you have to have it turned on, which is, you see that selected. And then on the climate control, you have an option of auto or last setting. So last setting is what was on when you got out of the vehicle. Typically you use last settings during the summertime. If you want to turn that vehicle on, it's hot outside, you want to get the air conditioning going, so when you get in there it's cool, it's ready to go, you go to last setting. Auto is for the winter time. That is, you'll see it's automatically going to go to defrost, and it's going to control your temperature float there. So I always say that auto for the winter, last setting for the summer. Seats and steering wheel. So you may not see this. If you don't have heated seats and heating steering wheel, you won't see this. But basically, if you do have heated seats and heated steering wheel, put that to auto during the winter time, turn it to off during the summertime. Make sense? And then the duration. So this is how long it'll start when you remote start it. Whether you use the app or you use your remote. If you have remote start on the remote, you want to set the different duration. So when you remote start it, how long is it going to go on before it shuts off? Now, some people don't like the fact that it shuts off. Great. If it shuts off after 15 minutes, you can remote start it twice. So you can remote start it twice before coming in and actually turning it on in the physical vehicle. So you get two settings. So that'd be 30 minutes of having it on. So that should hopefully take care of about anybody, no matter where you're at. So there's that. So remote start. I wasn't going to go through all these, but your wiper settings are in there, your lighting, your ambient lighting. This has ambient lighting, your locks, all that stuff. That's where you're going to be looking at the physical vehicle settings. Now, general settings, that's typically your, how do you want to see your stuff? I want to see it in English. Do I want to see it in Spanish, French? All right, that's how you change that. Your temperature, I want Fahrenheit versus Celsius, your measurements. So that's basically your general settings, is I always say is how you want it to look on here. And at any time, if you mess something up, hit reset right there under the general settings to reset things back to the way it was from the factory. If you just need to redo it because you messed something up completely, right? So there you go. And then display, not really much there. It's just the brightness. You want it in night mode. So a lot of times you'll see in some of it, if you get a vehicle from McArthur, we picture it up, it'll be in night mode because it's a lot easier to see the screen when it's this way versus a bright white screen in our photos. So we'll do that, but we'll set this to auto, which means during the daytime and nighttime. And in fact, we might need to, yes, that camera, you're not going to see that. So we are going to go to nighttime for this video. So anyway, and then so there's that, and then you can also just go to calm screen and you can shut that off completely. So we're going to go calm screen, and there you go. So question is, how do you get out of that? Just press anywhere. So there you go. And connectivity, we will talk about that a little bit because you want to make sure this stuff is turned on, your connected vehicles features. So that allows them to see that. So one of the great things about this being Sync 4 is that it works and talks to Ford. So it can do automatic over-the-air updates, OTAs, and it can get your feedback. You'll see speech recognition feedback, different things. You can actually, it can talk back and forth. So the telematics and such, that helps Ford know that they're having issues with something. Bluetooth, you'll want to have that turned on if you want to connect your phone in, like we're going to in a second. Connect the phone to the vehicle and being able to be able to do a lot of things, including Android Auto. So you'll need that Bluetooth turned on. Wi-Fi. This will be come in handy in a second. We're going to talk about over-the-air updates and how you can get keeping your vehicle always up to date. And how to do that. You'll need the Wi-Fi on that, and you can see available networks. So when you're at home, you have Wi-Fi at your house. Great way to be at your house, connect in, put in that Wi-Fi in there for you, so that when it needs to do an over-the-air update, it can accomplish that update without any issues for you as well. And I'll show you how we're going to do that in just a second. We're going to slide this to the right, or slide it to the left. I always say the screen from the right comes over. Vehicle hotspots, we won't get into too much of that. Some of the stuff you just go into. 911 Assist allows you to be able to call 911 directly, right? And so that can be turned on. And then some different things, mobile apps, software updates. So in here, software updates, this is where you want to turn that on. So automatic updates, have it turned on. Right now, there is no schedule planned for this particular vehicle. You go into there and you can schedule it. I want it any day at 1 a.m. I want it, Monday through Friday. You might think, well, the vehicle's not on. You don't need to have the vehicle on. That's what's great. You can set up a custom schedule as well, Monday through Thursday, let's say. You don't want it to bother you on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it might be, right? You can set that up of when you want it to update. I think on mine, I set mine to 2 a.m. and mine, I do it every day. This here will actually tell you if it's up to date or not. So there you go. So there's that information and why you want to have that on. Now, Ford Assistant. This is pretty cool as well. Ford Assistant, this is right now it's not selected, and you may not even realize your vehicle has this. But listen to the wake-up word. So you can click on that, and you can choose your preferred word, right? So if I say one of these phrases, it's going to automatically start listening. I don't have to press a button. So there's a button on the steering wheel to be able to talk to the system and tell it to do different things, like your climate and different things like that. Or you can use these wake-up words like you would with your phone with Google or with Siri, right? You can do the same thing here. I would suggest you don't do OK Ford, because sometimes you might actually say things to your vehicle when you're driving like I do, and it might not work. Or even hello Ford. So pick something that works for you, and don't forget what it is. So we did select this right here. We're gonna use that in just a second and show you that. So, and then you have some other things, confirmations you can list. Here's what's really great. Down here, it has different ones. You can see what are the voice command help. So I'm going to hit climate, and you can see these are some of the different things you can tell the system, right? To set the temperature to a certain degree, change the climate to a high, whatever. In fact, let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, Ford Pass. Set temperature to 78.
Setting temperature to 78 degrees.
Okay, that didn't help me out because I was already at 78. So let's try this again. Okay, Ford Pass. Set temperature to 76.
Setting temperature to 76 degrees.
You'll notice right there it's 76 now. So you can tell, different things you can do. You can also your fan speed, different things like that. Media as well gives you all kinds of options. You can tell it what station you want to be on if you're on Sirius. There's the Sirius ones. You can switch to this if you know the Sirius number. You can say the station name as well. I listen to a lot of the Message Christian music, and so I can tell it to set that or switch the Sirius XM channel to the Message, and it will change. So you can put the channel name in there, right? So that works as well. Radio, so many different things you can do there. So a lot of people, physical buttons, they're gone. Use your voice. Try it out after a while. And just like with anything, take some practice before it becomes something easier to use. But do try that out and see how that works. We'll leave that on for now. So we're going to go back to this because we've gone into everything in the settings that I wanted to cover. Features. Features are what I think these are things that, so this is where you're going to find your driver assistance stuff. So all the safety features, all those kind of features are in there. So the driver assistance. This does have adaptive cruise. This is where we'd select that. Or if you want the traditional cruise, you don't have to use adaptive cruise. Lane centering, you can deactivate that. So some of you are like, well, I like the adaptive cruise, but I don't like it keeping me in the center of my lane because I don't want to be safe. No, just kidding. You can deactivate that. Predictive speed assist, that is going into curves. That's also your speed sign. So people are like, well, it doesn't do my speed sign. Did you go into your settings and turn that on? Because that might be the reason why yours isn't doing that. So there are some people saying mine doesn't do the speed sign recognition. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it'll get updated. It's right here. You probably didn't realize, because everything else was turned on already, that you have it. You just need to activate it by clicking on that. So that shows you the speed sign and also going into curves as well. Predicts the upcoming road curves, turns, or changes in speed limit, and adjust your vehicle speed accordingly, right? So pressing I on anything tells you how to use that. So there's your cruise control. Some other features, I won't go into all those. Predictive, the pre-collision assist, your blind spot information. Again, these are some of these features people are like, well, what if I don't want it? I don't want them telling me and that light showing up over there for bliss. Well, then just turn it off. Cross traffic alert, you don't want that? Turn that off. Your front and rear sensors, you can turn those on and off. So all these are safety features to help you. If you don't like them, turn them off. You don't have to have them on. I don't like driver alert when I'm driving, so I shut mine off, right? So you can do that. Now, back at the main features section, because I want to show you something in here. People won't like the fact that this is all you get for an owner's manual, right? Are you joking? It's just a supplemental owner's manual. Well, nope. Your owner's manual is now right here. Or you can get it online and download it if you'd like to. But there's a couple great features, cool features about the owner's manual. First of all, it's a great way for Ford to be able to update that owner's manual at any time. Like right now, the fact that you can't, the flat toe for the all-wheel drive isn't listed in the owner's manual. Well, as soon as they get a chance to, it's going to be updated automatically in here. So I'm going to probably show you something about that here in just a little bit, because this is a hybrid, so it can be neutral towed. But in here, you can go to your categories. So this is be like what you'd have for your owner's manual. Pretty simple to go into. You can also search right there and search for things, and you can also use your voice if you want with that as well. So you can do that as well. So search that way. So there's some things. There are a couple videos, not a lot. There's only like 2 or 3 videos in here. They'll add more videos over time. They haven't asked for my advice on any of it, but that's fine. And different things. Now here's one thing that's cool: visual search. So you can visually see. So there's a couple different images here, and one of them is, here's the screen. Here's here's a couple touch points, right? Oh, here's this bar right here. Let me click on that little spot right there, and it tells you switching the hazards flashers to on. There you go. But if you can go further over, then it gives you some of the other things: transporting the vehicle, different things like that, preparing your vehicle for storage. Some of the stuff's on here, some is not, but that's some of the visuals. I thought that was kind of cool. If I go right, it has some extra visuals, right? And you can kind of click on those. So there's that. So opening the tailgate from the outside of the vehicle. I mean, different things like that, right? And okay, let's say, here's something else. The bookmarks is really popular. So let's say there's something in here that you want to learn how to do, and you need to know how to do that. Security. Let's say the pass, well, let me pick something that you might want to, isn't more of instructional here, like the mislock. So you want to know what it is, how to do it, and how to switch it on and off. Let's say you want to know, oh, I need to know how to turn that on and off. Well, here's how to get there. You go to the settings menu, then you go to vehicle, then you go to press locks, and then you can switch the mislock on and off. Well, let's say you want to keep that because, hey, I don't want to try to find that again. Just press this up here, and that saves it for you. Go back, back to that, and you go to bookmarks, and you'll see that is now selected. That's in our bookmarks. So that is a great way, right, to be able to, you find something in the owner's manual you want to save. There's how you do that. So there's that, and then record feedback. Yes, Ford is listening. They want your feedback. You can click on that. You record the feedback that you have to send back to Ford and saying, I don't like this, or I'd like to see this. I want the physical buttons back, or whatever it might be. You can record that feedback and it can go back to Ford. So there you go. And then apps are down here. Some people said, hey, why is YouTube on there? Well, because of the Ford video guy, of course. No, I'm just joking, guys, just joking. But you can do that there. Android Auto, you can find more apps. Now, it is going to be looking at your phone, which brings me to the next thing I want to do, and that is to connect the Android Auto up here. Now, we made sure Bluetooth was turned on here.
Also, I always turn my Bluetooth off when I go anywhere. So it's a safety thing for me, security. I always turn my Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off when I'm in public, anywhere. I've been told things can happen. So what I do is when I get in my vehicle, I turn my Bluetooth on. So in mine, I'm going to turn that on. And then right now you can see it is not listed. So we're going to go to the phone. Oh, wrong place. See, even yeah. Oh, right here. Add phone.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
So it just came up. It says sync. We're going to hit connect right there. And then we're going to hit allow. And we have to hit allow as well for the SMS, for the text messages. Now it's pairing it. It's
For your
successful.
safety, please stay alert to changing road conditions and use Sync's voice-activated features while your vehicle is in motion.
Okay, 911 assist. I'm not going to turn that on, but I would suggest everybody turn it on. I'm going to hit finish. And then right here, I want to support Android Auto. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to enable that right there. And then I'm going to hit set up on here. There you go. So now our Android Auto is set up, and it's completely going right off of here. So I'm going to leave my phone here because I'm going to show you some things. On here you can see, here's my map. I listen to a lot of Spotify when I'm going places, so it is on my Spotify right there. And then your little quick navigation. My house is 13 minutes, but I'm not going to click on it so you guys see where I live, but that's fine. So there's where we're located. We're at the dealership right here. Here are some quick little things in here that you've used recently. Maps, Spotify, your phone. Text messages will show up there as well. So, and then these little, all these little dots right down here, that is for your settings. So we're going to click on that, and that brings in all the things that we have on here as different apps that we can use through Android Auto, right? Did you know that you can change these apps? You can. Now, if I want to go out of Android Auto and like, okay, do I have to unconnect and everything? No. If you hit Ford Sync, then that takes you out of the Android Auto and you're back into the regular system and how you want to use it. You go back to home, there it is. Now, if you want to go, you're still connected to Android Auto, so if I want to go back to that, just click that again and I'm back to Android Auto. So that's how that works. Now, I'm going to go in here because I want to show you this. I'm going to turn my phone on. If I want to customize some things in here, like I see some things that I don't want in here, right? I can get rid of them. If I hit customize right there, then it pulls the apps up on my phone, right? So let's look at this and go, you know what? I don't need this smart thing. So that's actually something I use for my alarm system at home, right? I don't need that on there. I don't need the reminder on here, right? So I just took those away. They're done. So they're still on here though. Well, you're going to need to reconnect your phone to do that. So I'll try to do that smoothly, I think. I actually practiced this earlier. So, but we're going to go ahead and go back to that home. And I'm going to actually deactivate my Bluetooth. Right? I have now disconnected from Android Auto. I'm going to close that. And it's as easy as reconnecting. So I'm going to hit my Bluetooth again on my phone. And now I have the Tim's Sync. That's what's, I think it was named in here. So now it's connected to calls and audio. There it is. We're going to click on that. Should bring that Android Auto back up. Now go back into this and you'll notice there's two things missing there. They are now gone. They are now updated. That's how you would want to update that if you want that in there, and how the Android Auto works. So go into these little things. It brings you back to this. So I can go into my navigation only. Right, I can do that. I can navigate to different locations. I can bring up recent, all of the other stuff. I really like some things that I think are fun about the navigation on here is that when you're coming across different stalled vehicles and all that, it'll ask you, is that vehicle still there? Some other people said that the stalled vehicle was there. Well, then you can do that. And also with this in here, you can actually click on that and you can tell it that you found things. If there's somebody crashed over there and it's not on there, you can put that somebody is in a crash, or that there's a slowdown right here, or there's construction going on, or whatever, if it's not physically there. It lets other people also then see that. Now, I will tell you in my Bronco, I'm not able to do this, but I'm able to see them and at least verify that those are still going on in those locations. But with the new Sync 4 system, with these bigger screens, you can actually put things on the screen. Like I said, mine, I have an 8-inch screen in my Bronco, and I'm not able to do that because it's too small of a screen. So that's pretty cool on how that works there. And then, of course, any of these other things. I won't go into all the specifics, but connecting you up and different things you can do and adding different apps. Now, I will tell you this, Sirius XM is going to be standard equipment on all these. Even an XL gets Sirius XM. Now, you do have to pay for a membership for that. Now, let's say, like for me, I have an Expedition that has the Sirius satellite I paid for, and I get the app. Well, I don't have to pay for it for the Maverick if I don't want to. You'll see the Sirius over there. Well, I can go into Sirius, since I have the Sirius app for my other vehicle, right? Then I can actually use the Sirius app through Android Auto and use it without having to pay for Sirius on this vehicle. So that's just a little way around it. If you want to save a little bit of money, you can do that. So anyway, so there's that. And I think that's all I had to cover on this. And yeah, I think that's about it. So hopefully this works. It's something I didn't cover you wanted me to cover, let me know down in the comments. All right, so there you have it. So hopefully you guys are enjoying your Monday with your Maverick, or your Maverick's in soon, right? Hopefully it'll come in soon. Thank you very much for watching this this video. Hopefully I did learn something. I can help you out. If you can help educate people, the conversation, put it down below, and let other people know as well. I love the comment section, so do look down there if you have some questions that maybe I didn't cover. Maybe somebody posted it down below and you can put that in there, and maybe I can do a follow-up video to this as well. So thank you guys for following and for enjoying this Maverick Monday. Hopefully you guys are having a great Monday as well. And yeah, so I think that's all I have for this week. So hopefully you guys have a great week. And we may not be having a Maverick Monday video next week. We'll be on our way back from Florida on Monday, so we may not have one unless some major news comes up, and I just feel like you guys need it. Otherwise, we probably will not have one next week. So yeah, have a great week, and stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you on the next Maverick Monday video. Bye.